GST 105, Humanities. My name is Dr. Samuel C. Izuegbu. This course is on human relations for self and organizational development. So, in the process and the course of this lecture, you are expected to explain what human relation is, then look at different levels of human relations, and from there you look at various skills in human relations, as well as the self-related factors that affect human relations. We shall equally be looking at the ways of promoting human relations, and finally we look at the importance of human relations. So, first and foremost, introduction. See, man is a social being, and we always say that man is a social being. It means he is a gregarious being, a being that would always want to associate with others. In other words, he needs the company of others. He cannot do it alone. Further still, a man can only survive in this world through interactions. Just as you are as a student, there is no way you can succeed without having a kind of interaction with other persons. So, for that reason, man is naturally relational. In other words, man relates. So, if man relates, that means that majority of what we do in life depends on how we interact with others. Then one can ask, what is human relations? Human relations may be defined as the interaction that exists among individuals in a given setting, especially in a workplace and other formal settings. This interaction exists wherever human beings are gathered. For instance, be it in a workplace, that is where people work, you see interaction there. Formal setting, you see interaction there, just like meetings and things like that. Wherever human beings gather, there must be a kind of interaction taking place. And this interaction taking place is what we call human relations. So I repeat again, human relation may be seen as the interaction which exists among individuals in a given place, especially in a workplace and other formal organizations. Having said that, we now look at levels of human relations. What are the levels human relations may take? Human relation may be interpersonal. Interpersonal in the sense that it is between Mr. A and Mr. B. For instance, when I relate with a student or group of students, this is interpersonal relationship or interpersonal human relation. Then outside interpersonal, human relation may also be intra-group. Intra-group is the relationship that exists within a particular group. For instance, your class is a group. So there may be interaction happening there. So any interaction happening within that your class, because it is the same class, we classify it as intra-group interaction or relations. Then we have intergroup relations or interactions. So this one has to involve more than one group of individuals. That is to say, in the level of intergroup relation, what you are having is a group versus another group. For instance, inter-class debate. For instance, inter-political party debate and things like that. So the three levels of human relations discussed here include interpersonal, intra-group, and intergroup relations. Then, what forms would human relations take? What are the forms it may take? We have human relations. As long as human beings are concerned, when we are interacting, we may interact at the conflict stage. It may be conflict. Conflict is a disagreement over a particular issue between one person and other. So our relation or interaction may be at the point of conflict, and it may also be at the point of exchange. Exchange in the sense that this is contractual. We have agreed on this. For instance, if I'm buying from a coker, I have to buy, maybe this is bread, a loaf of bread. What amount is the loaf of bread? Maybe 800 naira. The exchange here is that I'm going to give 800 naira to the seller, while the seller gives me the loaf of bread. This is exchange. The interaction at this level is exchange. It may be cooperation. Cooperation is a situation where individuals work together achieving a particular goal. For instance, this is GST 105. You see that you have many lecturers handling this course. Each person is working towards educating you on humanities. This is cooperation. Then again, we have competition as a form of human relation. Imagine in the motor park, you see various persons rushing one passenger, calling the person, come to my own vehicle and all that. This is competition. In a football field, what do you see? The interaction existing in that football field, you are having individuals who are busy competing. That is the interaction at that level. So having dealt with forms of human relations, we now go to the important skills in human relations. What are these things that are very important that you learn in human relations? What are the things that will enable you do well in the field of human relations? Number one, talk about conflict management. As long as human beings are concerned, there must be conflict. And if you are to interact with individuals, you must be ready to master how to manage conflict, because conflict must come as long as human beings are concerned. The other one is management of relationships. Yes, we keep on relating with people, but in these relationships, we must be ready to manage them. If, for instance, the relationship between you as a student and myself as your teacher, you must manage it. Any moment you as a student begin to talk to me the way you talk to your fellow students, you see you are mismanaging the relationship. So if you must be good in human relations, you must know what to do at any point or any level of human relations. Again, teamwork skill. So you need to learn in human relations that teamwork is essential. That is to say, working together from different angles. If this is a workplace, for the organization to achieve its aim, there should be teamwork. In the sense that if Mr. A is working, Mr. B is working, Mr. C is working, and all of them are working towards achieving a particular goal. So this is one of the things you learn in human relations. It's a skill that will equip you for good human relations. Again, good decision making. So the next thing you learn, the next skill you need in human relations is good decision making. Decision can make or mar human relations. So if your decision is awful, you are looking for problems. But if your decisions are good, people will naturally flow with you. Then another skill you need is empathy. Being empathetic means that you are having the same feeling with others and you are ready to help in the situation. For instance, you are a manager in a particular company and somebody just lost his wife. Now the person before had been doing very well, but since he lost his wife, you see that the individual is no longer maybe being punctual because he must attend to school run in the morning before coming. Now you are beginning to punish that individual. You are not empathetic. Therefore, in human relation, one of the skills that will enable you to triumph is having empathy. Further still, negotiation. You should be able to have this skill of negotiating issues. You don't just stand up and lord it over everybody. If there is crisis, you should be able to sit down and discuss this crisis and negotiate it for the good of everybody. Another thing is emotional intelligence. As human beings, we are not psychologically balanced at all times. And if we are not psychologically balanced at all times, it means that we may have what we may call mood swing. So the way you talk to a person when the person is angry shouldn't be the same way you talk to an individual when the person is happy. And you must watch situation and know when this situation is good for a particular thing. Otherwise, you may be doing the right thing at the wrong time. So you must have this skill of emotional intelligence. Another skill you need to have is cultural competence. In every organization, we may experience that people are coming from different backgrounds, be it cultural, be it religious. Our society is a pluralistic one. And because it is a pluralistic one, you must be ready to manage this. You must have competence to observe that you all cannot behave the same. Again, listening skill. You are expected to be a listener. If you must have a good human relation, one of the skills you must possess is listening skill. Because when you listen, you understand. And when you understand well, you take proper decision. Then, what are the important self-related factors in human relation? Important self-related factors. What do you mean by this? What are these things that happen to people or the things we see in people that can help you in human relation? These things are what we may also call areas of emphasis in human relation. Number one is self-esteem. And what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is the image, the picture an individual has for him or herself, the level of self-worth, the way you carry yourself, the way you see yourself, what you think you are. And therefore, we have two kinds of self-esteem. We have what we call high self-esteem or positive self-esteem, and then we have low self-esteem or negative self-esteem. People who have high self-esteem can easily interact. They are easygoing individuals. They can always be bold to say what they have in mind. And this is very important. So an individual who has good self-image interacts better than the one that has negative self-image. So this is important. It is a self-related factor in human relation. The other one is self-awareness and disclosure. What does this imply? Self-awareness and disclosure. For you to be able to interact with people, you must first and foremost know who you are. You cannot interact with people if you do not actually know yourself. It is when you know yourself that you can know what you like and what you dislike. Aristotle said, "Man, know thyself." And that is the beginning of wisdom. When you know who you are, then you'll be able to know whom to interact with and whom not to interact with. This is another self-related factor that influences human relation. Another one is motivation. Motivation is the interest in doing a particular thing. The interest, the spur to do a particular thing. In human relation, individuals are motivated at different levels. And these The different levels of motivation we have determine our level of interaction. If I have high motivation, I interact well. If I have low motivation, I may not interact at all. My interaction may be very gloomy. Again, attitude. Attitude is a way an individual feels towards a particular thing or particular behavior. So you see, as human beings, we develop attitudes at different levels. You may see somebody, that individual does not like those who have lipstick. It is already the person's attitude. So wherever the person sees somebody on lipstick, the person may feel bad towards that person. This can affect the interaction. How do we promote good human relations? You promote good human relations by having mutual respect for each other. You respect this person and the other person respect. Then you promote it. Then again, be empathetic. We have explained it before. Always be empathetic. Be a person who has feeling for others and who is ready to help out. Another way we promote good human relation is through dialogue. This is formal discussion between two parties over a particular issue. When we dialogue, we'll be able to know our differences and resolve that. Again, maintenance of transparency and integrity. When you want people to interact with you, when you want to have good human relations, if you are a manager or if you're a leader in any place, you're expected to be transparent and have integrity as a core value that leads you. Again, be tolerant. You have to be tolerant. You have to uphold tolerance. When you uphold tolerance, knowing that everybody cannot behave the same, you see that you are promoting human relation. Again, always promote justice and fairness. When people feel they belong, when people feel they are part of what is happening, you'll now see that the individuals will like to interact. Openness. You have to be open to criticisms. Everybody must not accept you once you say the thing. Allow people to criticize. Listen to other people's views. This is openness. It is a way of helping you having good human relations. Then what are the importance of human relations? What are the importance of human relations? Why human relations? Why are you studying human relations? Number one, human relation exposes individuals to skills for good human relations. So one of the things you learn here is that you are going to be exposed to skills for good human relation. You have this skill in relating with people. Okay, you are now a new student in this university. You need to interact well with others. You have hostel mates, you have roommates, you have classmates and all that. So you need good skills to interact with them so that you won't be having problem with people every time. Again, high productivity. When people interact well, let's say in a workplace, there will be high productivity. For the fact in this company, for instance, people are interacting well, people are talking to each other, people are solving their problems together, you see there will be naturally high productivity in such an environment. Then good human relation will lead to peaceful coexistence. When we have good human relation, we have peaceful coexistence, we live together, we live in peace. Again, cross-pollination of ideas. When we interact, we can cross-pollinate ideas. What does that mean? I teach you what I know, you teach me what I know. And when this thing is happening, we are sharing ideas, we are sharing skills. This is one of the importance of good human relations. Again, good human relations bring general development and progress. When we are in good terms, when we interact well, what do we expect? We will be expecting general development where we are. Again, good human relation reduces violence. If we are interacting well, automatically you know there will be reduction in violence. Good image is another thing. Wow! What in an environment where you have good human relations, people are working well, people are living in peace, people respect each other, what do you see? It will bring good image to such an environment or organization. Furthermore, human relation helps us to have common solution to common problem. Because we interact well, when we have a problem, we'll be able to gather together and say, oh, how do we solve this? Everybody brings this ideas. And when these ideas come, you'll now see that there is a common solution to that common problem. Further still, reduction in fear and bitterness. Good human relation reduces the level of bitterness we may have in an environment. So, if we are interacting well, we do not need to fear, we do not need to be harbingers of bitterness. Rather, we will be free with each other. Again, good human relation brings in general sense of belonging. When we are interacting well, what do we get? Everybody is feeling belong. So these things are very, very important, and those are the reasons we are having good human relations. Then conclusion, as a way of concluding, let us reiterate that man relates because he is a social being, and his interaction with others enable him achieve his objectives, as we said before. Then good knowledge of human relation skill will equip an individual with proper knowledge of relating with others. So, by this, man achieves his life purposes and organizations develop with good human relations. Therefore, you cannot achieve anything without good human relations. And I urge everybody to always be ambassador for good human relations. Thank you and God bless you.